Spelunking is an activity not for the faint of heart. People will crawl through claustrophobic spaces no bigger than a few inches to explore cave systems which at times can stretch for miles. In November 2009, one such spelunker would find out the dangers of the activity. John Jones from Utah, Ohio, had plenty of experience of spelunking as a kid, but hadn't done it since. He and his brother decided to explore a cave. The one they picked was the Nutty Putty cave in Utah. They entered the cave with some friends in November 2009. At one point, John decided to look for a passage called the Birth Canal, a narrow and challenging passageway that eventually opens up into a larger room. John searched and came across what he thought was the birth canal, so he dived in head first. He continued to crawl through the passage, but it did not seem to open up, so he continued. The passageway got narrower, and at one point he realized he couldn't move forward, and he tried to go backwards, but was stuck. His brother Josh was following him and was the first one to find John. Josh tried to pull him out, but only managed to inch him up a little. As soon as he let go, John slid right back down. John was stuck with one hand pinned underneath him and the other forced backwards. His ankles and feet were free, but were little use as gravity pushed him down. John was in this position for hours as rescuers arrived at the scene. The rescue team quickly brainstormed a plan, and they decided to use a rope that passes through a series of climbing cams, with one end of the rope tied around John's leg and the other end pulled by the team. At the same time, they also tried drilling away chunks of rock near John, but the hard material and the awkward position made drilling a slow and painful work. In over an hour, they only managed to drill through a couple of inches of rock. John was now doing worse. He had now been stuck upside down for a long time, having difficulty breathing, and his heart had to work twice as hard to push against gravity for continuous blood flow. At one point, they brought a two-way radio into the cave and managed to lower it to him so he could speak with his wife, who was near the cave entrance at the surface. They were both agitated, but comforted each other. After many attempts of trying to rescue him, tragedy hit. John had suffered a cardiac arrest due to the stress on his heart after 28 hours trapped. Attempts were made to retrieve his body, but to no avail. The decision was made to seal the cave off with John's body inside the cave. A memorial is outside the cave that marks John's resting place. Would you go spelunking? Let us know down below.